I mean, Iron Man did the same thing. I mean, just go back and look at the shoes again at some point. There's no way those lines connect to each other. It would be impossible. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Witch Hat Atelier. We're back with an overlay, as promised. We come back as we normally do with notes and a board, so let's go ahead and look at that board real quick. I believe I already described last time, that we're using the board on our website, so that will always be available now. And we're still working on getting it to look better, so there's that. We do have the board changelog, though, where I added Tetia, Riche, and Agat. Sorry, I don't know if I'm saying Rich's name right. Riche? Anyway, whatever. I connected Coco to Tieta. Sorry, my problem is that we just finished watching Sentenced to be a Hero, so I've got Tioretta on my mind. So when I see Tetia's name, Tioretta just jumps in. Anyway, connected Coco to the two girls with a green line, and then I connected Coco to Agat with a white line. And yes, I know, Agat is also a girl. Unfortunately, the first time I saw them, I thought they were actually a guy, and it stuck in my head. So now I know Agat is also one of the girls. But, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a green line eventually. For now, though, in an uncertain world, I'm putting it down as a white line. I said last time that I had figured out the language of the world. Well, I had only partially figured it out, which is why I decided to stop translating and finally get an episode recorded last time. This time I've actually finished all my translation work. So, hopefully future me is working alongside me here to display all this stuff down below. Right now, hopefully he is displaying the guide, I guess. I don't know. I put together a little thing which is like just 2 lines of letters and their symbols or whatever. So I will get into the books themselves in a minute, but the things that we've learned from translating the books. Sigils. The arrow with a base represents levitation. The box with another box twisted inside of it and lines coming off of the inner box's corners represents light. Coco, ironically enough, uses a different sigil in her description of light, so I don't know what that's about. The triangle is still unknown. It's used in a shoe seal and levitation sigil. A curly sprig-looking thing is still unknown. It's used in the fireball seal. The explosion, it's like 3 little icons that come up like this. I usually see that in like explosive emotes. It's also still unknown, and it's also used in the fireball seal. The triangle with lines coming out of its sides represents fire. An S with alternating water droplets represents water, and a double curly with the explosive symbol represents wind. I should also mention those last 3 don't come from the books. I just added those to this. They come from Coco. Seals. Sylph is made up of levitation and whatever triangles represent surrounding a Sylph seal, which is a curly S surrounded by 3 concentric circles. And we've also got Pyreball, the one I translated last time, which is made up of a combination of multiple seals. And then we have Signs, which is a T-shape pointed at the desired direction of effect. That's the one we see the most of so far. The wands are called ink wands, which seem no different than dip pens normal people use. By the way, that's not my interpretation. That's literally what the book says. It seems no different. The tip wears down quickly as conjuring ink is used and must be replaced. The conjuring ink is made of a special pigment called woodcruer. Textbooks rarely use conjuring ink. A palm queer. Sorry, I don't know if I'm saying these words right or not. It's not even the explanation that it usually is, which is I don't speak Japanese. At this point, is I just never seen some of these words before, like Atelier. I've never heard that word before. Palm queer. Quire? Quire? I don't know. Is a small notepad used for portable casting of spells. Some of the training material focuses on drawing circles in the air for practice. Hopefully future me has included the text on the screen below, so that you won't have to take my word for what it said. The rest of the stuff from that first page that I showed last time. Sigil of levitation floats the target object into the air. The length of the sign determines how far the object can travel. Signal of light produces light. Shoe seal drawn on the sole of the shoes. When used, it allows one to fly. Sign of columns allows one to control the direction in which the target object proceeds, which is, again, the name of the line off of it. And the Fireball seal is the one on the other side that we translated last time. And of course, there's that one from the book at the end of episode 1, the magic leads to both despair and hope. Now the books. Now, this is not going to make any sense because some of these books cut off at certain points. I'm just going to read what I got. And on the screen, I'll show you which book it comes from, and I'll put the actual text so you don't have to listen to me if you don't want to. Book 1, page 1, several different methods, something a witch can use to wield magic. This book outlines the methods and practices every apprentice witch should know. A witch's tools. Witches use various tools to cast magic. Those tools are called components. Ink wand. An essential tool used by many witches when casting magic. Most of them are ordinary dip pens that are even used by outsiders, but some witches use pens with unique properties. The tip wears down quickly as the conjuring ink is applied directly to the tip. Proper care and timely replacement is a must. While some witches prefer specific pen holders, I believe that a truly skilled witch is defined by their ability to cast magic regardless of the pen they use. Conjuring ink. A special ink that is the source of all magic. It is an ink made from a special... I keep saying figment. I wrote down figment here. I think I typoed while typing, and it's supposed to be pigment. If it's either of those two, I'll correct when we find out. I'm not going back to the book. Called woodcrewer. Ideally, it should be extracted by trained professionals. When handled by apprentices, they must exercise utmost caution choosing the components for extracting and formulating. No witches should ever treat woodcrewer carelessly. In addition, textbooks rarely use conjuring ink. This book does not use it either. Page 2. Woodcrewer wand. A rod of hardened woodcrewer. It was once widely used by many witches since it was useful for inscribing seals upon wood or stone. However, due to the flaw of the markings easily rubbing away, the advent of mass-produced pen holders and improved probability of inks, its popularity has gradually decreased. However, it has earned a loyal following for its portability and ease of use. Where conjuring ink cannot be used, mastering its basic use is highly recommended. Palmquare, again, don't know if I'm saying that word right, a notepad that fits in the palm of one's hand. Its small size makes it highly portable and well suited for casting spells discreetly without outsiders noticing. Apprentices are advised to start by using small spells that match the size of the palmquare. While larger scale spells require years of training, using the palmquare allows one to remain conscious of the ring at all times when casting magic. However, when casting large-scale spells, it is strongly recommended to pair the notepad with a portable scroll. A component pestle. It is used to grind ingredients to mix with conjuring ink in order to cast special spells. Proper knowledge of each component is essential for proper formulation, and apprentices must exercise utmost caution when attempting it by themselves. So yeah, special pens can do different things, and apparently you can mix stuff with the ink to get special effects. That's an additive on top of the already added thing of larger circles can do other things, and you can stack circles on top of one another. So we're already way deep on this, although I would say we are, because we translated the book that Coco is reading. Technically, we the viewer aren't, because I'm assuming these are things that are going to be introduced later, as Coco learns them and tells them to us. So we're just ahead of the game by knowing essentially what Coco knows. And again, here's where we're going to get chopped up a bit. Book 2, page 1, essential part, casting seal in the seal and different type of sigil for basic water, wind, and other sigils, ending on the arrow, Example sigil of wind sigil of fire in, must be handled with, it can be cast with the proper. Again, we don't get much of that page. Page 2. Signs. A sign is usually sigil. It determines and direction of the appropriate balance. Depending on the desire, skewed signs will outcomes. Some signs will opposite effect when drawn upside, allowing versatile afflictions across various magics. However, the more complex the seal, the bigger it gets, requiring a greater number and variety of signs with precise balance. Maintaining the balance between the sigil and signs requires a certain amount of discipline and concentration. Magic that is out of balance is dangerous as it can cause outbursts or misfires and produce unexpected results. Types of signs that are a variety of types of signs there are a that was a header. Sometimes the headers are really hard because this book also seems to be filled with its own internal typos. So that should be types of signs and then an underscore. There are a variety of signs, including some act on time of force, depending. Oh, we're back into half being cut off. Depending, knowledge and science will allow signs that are drawn in. Seal and one can master. Magics and signs are and can be layered. Signs there are decorations to goats. They are time. Book 3 isn't going to get any better. Allow or to of the magic. A neat circle of the magic. Therefore, one must. Hard to be able to draw it neatly. It is a good idea to draw circles in the air first to solidify the image in your mind. Circles are difficult to draw, but they are used in all magic. There are various ways of closing the circle. Well, connecting semicircles. A circle unevenly. Circle with. All have. And that is everything. That is every translatable surface that I saw in the first 2 episodes. So, only part of that was my thoughts, though, putting together what we know from what's been translated. Otherwise, now to my actual thoughts. Stuff from the opening. There seems to be 40 symbols on the magical Stargate device, so conceivably just as many locations that it could go. Although the knob placement is also a factor in everything, so no telling if it could be more or less. Coco seems to be surrounded by a number of items, only some of which we've been introduced to in the book translations. I believe that is a palm choir on her right. The pestle is in the upper right. I'm going to guess that the branch stuff is going to be the source of woodcraft. Otherwise, a lot of it are drawing/painting instruments and tools. Based on my translation of the books from episode 1 and 2, I can tell on sight that the seal Agat is drawing is a directed floating light one, which actually gives me hope that I might be able to guess what spells people are drawing as they draw them. Because, if we get into a duel with somebody and they're quick drawing a spell, I might be able to say, oh shit, that is light, fire, wind, and direction. That's a fireball of some sort, I like having some sort of knowledge about that I can ahead of time figure it out. I gotta wonder who Tetia and Riche have been talking to. I mean, I know we've gotten all of a day or so in Atelier. Sorry, in the Atelier. But there hasn't been anyone else around. Plus, what happened with Coco just happened. So how are any rumors going around? The only source could be Quifrey, as he'd still be bringing her home with him. I mean, she was unconscious. He legit could have pulled out his little communications device thing and just, told everybody. I don't know. So the history of magic seems all well and good because, of course, people would do anything with magic, including hurt one another. But is it right for a ruling elite to steal away knowledge from everyone else and ensure that no one else can have it. You know what this reminds me of? And some of you older members of the channel might remember this, but I'm sure no one else is going to know what I'm about to say. Spellbinders. It was a live-action Australian kids show about this kid that gets isekai'd to an alternate world where a medieval society is ruled by an elite group called Spellbinders, which are just normal people that learned to harness electromagnetism, so that they have these magnetic vehicles that can fly and electricity, and they hoard that knowledge for themselves. They aren't the good guys. Just because Quifrey seems nice doesn't make him one of the good guys. He's one of the magical elite, using his privilege to exclude others and wiping memories from people. There is a world where I can see our mystery person that gave Coco a magic book is part of the resistance or something, right? We're too early in for me not to think there's a twist coming our way, and I gotta think that maybe that twist is the guy I got drawn as might not be the good guy. I don't tend to get drawn as good guys. Magic cast upon the human body is utterly prohibited, so no magical tattoos. No transformation, age alteration, transportation without doors or conveyances, manipulating thoughts or emotion, the harm of others, and the healing of others, interesting enough. Obviously, wiping memories is the loophole in that rule. Plus, Hope Coco's mother doesn't need to be healed after she gets set free from the gemstones, because that's against the rules too. I mean, that seems to be a big old hint that maybe Coco should have asked a question about, like, how are you going to save my mom if you can't heal her? So windowways are magic stargates, and the Tower of Tomes is a place where all new spells go, but is guarded by the librarian's trials. I guess I should have added there's 4 of them, because I'm remembering that off the top of my head. Confusingly, the communications device doesn't seem to have any indicator on it for who is being talked to. Just a series of signs that have to be turned to be completed. Maybe there are further signals on the inside to show who the target is, but without seeing it cracked open, there's just no way to know. I suppose it's always possible that it's a one-way device. I like Tetia and Richie, and it's just that they made them so adorable that I'm getting that same sense that I had with Coco and her mom again, that the standoffishness of Agat is going to be why they survive, and Tetia and Richie are going to get used to show us that this world is harsher than we thought at first. I don't know why, but my Madoka Magica senses are going off. And my final note. Coco says there are 4 different types of sigil, but I swear from my book learning above that we learned more than that are in the books. So, either she's wrong, or she just doesn't know enough, and as our source of information, it doesn't apply. I guess the element is that my main concern here is the information I got is information from a book she dropped. So, conceivably, she should know this already too. But yeah, anyway, those were my notes. We already went over the board stuff, so nothing left to do here but to hop on into episode 3 and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's 0 pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
This is the tower? Tome Tower? No, this is just somebody else's house. That one didn't have sigils, that had gems. The shooting is a nice touch.
せっかく階段があるのに誰も使いやしないんだから。お前がこの海の底に足をつけるのも久しぶりだな。大講堂の問題締め。
I misread that at first. I thought she said something like getting stabbed. Seabed. I don't know.
とんでもないことをやらかしたそうじゃないか。聞いたぞ。新しい弟子のこと。もう知ってるの？噂の足は早いな。
You're the only one who could have told people.
関係あるかもしれないんだろう。 つばり棒の連中と。禁止魔法が使われたのは4年ぶり。大事な手がかりだ。
そういうわけじゃないよ。試験がまだだから正式な弟子でもないしね。
I mean, I'm pretty sure it is actually all about that, because I don't trust Quiffrey.
時期も悪い。
ああ、そうか。今の時期、試験会場のダダ山脈は
1年で一番標高が高い。こんな時に試験は受けさせられないよ。命に関わるもの。
When they say elevation, I have to think that they mean that the place actually moves and raises in height. I love this fucking pop-up book thing. I would love the show if not just for this. Okay, well, they were standing in front of mounds. I don't know what that implies. Again, I apologize as I always do. I have to talk over the opening, because again, I don't know. I'm in a very weird spot here. The element, as I said before, that I am recording these months before I'm able to release them. So technically I'm recording these for a Patreon audience who I don't have to talk over this for. But I'm also going to be using the same video to put on YouTube, which means I still have to talk over it. So in the long term, I still gotta talk over it. I guess there's also the element here that I haven't addressed this. I don't know if this is going to be a changing opening or not. As things happen, I'm going to have to pay attention to see. It doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it at the moment. But yeah, we're early on. There hasn't been a weird twist or anything. Also, I haven't really pointed out before how upbeat the song is. I'm just really enjoying the show. I mean, we're only 3 episodes in. Technically, I'm only 2 episodes in, and I'm now experiencing the 3rd episode. Even if there is no twist, I think I'm still going to enjoy it. Because it's the type of show that puts the work in. And I love shows that put the work in. That I had a whole background of stuff to translate. That's world building.
本当にやるの？先生もいないのに。いつやろうが受けるときはどうせ一人よ。でも
So apparently now it's deadly because of its elevation.
10歳の時に合格したわ。みんな弟子になるために受けるんだから条件は同じよ。そっか。最初の試験は王の許し。持っていけるのは3つの魔法機と魔材だけ。誰の助けも借りずにダダ山脈の頂上へたどり着き。
Elevation summit makes sense.
王冠層を取ってくるのよ。目的地を指し示す導きの魔神球と飲み水用に浮き水滴。扱えるのはこの辺りかしらね。さあ、行って。
So either she's gonna fail, and she's gonna be held back until she can do it at a later date.
靴ってないかな。靴？その靴も魔法機だよね。アガットも。
Or she's going to do it and just be surprisingly excellent at magic.
その、もしよかったらその靴貸してほしいなーって。やっぱりずうずうしいよね。ごめん、今のは忘れて。
I mean, did you have the shoes I got at 10 years old?
貸してあげるから。さっさと。ありがとう。行きなさいよね。言い忘れてたけど。
See again, gems, not.
一度きりだから。不合格ならキーフリー先生に弟子入りするのは認められない。アトリエも出て行ってもらうわよ。
I mean, I guess it kind of actually does show confidence. You wouldn't lend her something you wouldn't think you would ever get back. Oh, I said that wrong. You wouldn't lend her something you thought you'd never get back.
導きの魔神球、どうやって使うんだろう。
It's kind of shaped like the curly thing I was trying to describe with the translation from the book.
よし、山登りくらいできる。やれる。アガットは10歳の時に合格したって言ってた。
That's never great.
10歳でも
I've been watching the face first into many spiderweb in my time. Ugh.
きっとカン
Oh, well.
まさか
That explains why it could be deadly. Was a summit like
あれがダダ山脈
just the highest flowing one?
導きのマシン球は上を指してる。やっぱりあそこなんだ。ああ
Well, you have to master the shoes then.
まさか空に浮かんでるなんて。じゃーん、アガットから借りた靴。
The problem, I guess, is you're gonna be finding out what the limits to them are as you go. You don't want to do it while you're in midair.
魔法陣が右足と左足で半分ずつ。
Yeah, but weirdly, the lines would never connect the way they seem to be.
ないようにぴったりと合わせて。
You're wearing pants.
すごい、本当に浮いてる。
I mean, Iron Man did the same thing. I mean, just go back and look at the shoes again at some point. There's no way those lines connect to each other. It would be impossible.
でも飛べた。飛べたら頂上まであっという間だもんね。よし、頑張ろう。
すぐに慣れて自由に駆け回れるようになるよ。
すぐになれる。
See, when she was looking at the bird, I thought she was like seeing the four wings and thinking, okay, balance and whatnot. This is fucking cool. This is so fucking cool. I don't know what that stairway is because it seems like this is not under a bubble.
申請書はこれだ。頼んだよ。
はい。トトレイ、12番だ。
はい。大講堂に住めばわざわざ取りに来なくても済むのに。弟子だって連れてくればいいんだ。大講堂は魔法使いの本拠地。必要なものはすべて揃ってる。
What do you need a stronghold for if no one's trying to attack you?
持ってきました。
ありがとう。
大講堂嫌いは根深いようだな。弟子たちはしっかり見ててやれよ。あのくらいの子供たちは大人のいないところで何をやらかすかわからないぞ。
さっきよりだいぶバランス取れるようになってきたかも。これならもうちょっと上の方まで。
I mean, I know I would never be able to do this. I can't do skateboards or skates. They have really not shown us how deep that water is either. Oh, there you go. You're from the opening. Well, you must have seen one in a picture. So you know what it is. Hope you didn't wipe the sigils off of your shoes.
靴も泥でドロドロ。
Yeah. You still got the ink though. You can maybe rewrite it in.
嘘でしょ。拭ったから。やばいやばいやばいやば
Are we gonna find that wood crower comes from around here too? Or are we just gonna do it the hard way?
どうしよう。
I don't even know what the hard way is right here. Tie a rope to a bird?
あれねえアガト、ココ見てない？そろそろご飯の時間なのに。
ココならいないわよ。試験のためにダダ山脈に行ってるから。
一人で？まだアトリエに来たばっかなのに止めなかったの？ねえアガト。
普通は来る前に受けるでしょ。
そうだけど。
あんな簡単な試験さえ受からないなら、やっぱり弟子になる。
I guess the problem is that literally Quiffrey put they got in charge of her.
できない子が嫌いなの。一緒にいて得るものがないもの。ましてや知らざるものなんて。心配しなくても挑戦すらできずに帰ってくるわよ。
They said that she doesn't know how to operate the waygate thing.
一番高くまで浮いてる。私の飛び靴だけじゃそこまで高く飛べないもの。決まりも知らず危機感もないよそ者なんて。私たち
You never implied that there were rules.
しくないわ。
テティア、食べないの？食べるけど、なんていうか、重たい気持ち。おかわり。心配してるのテティアだけじゃん、もう。心配でも、キーフリー先生を待つしかない。
I mean, unless you want to go there and help. I guess not.
ダメだ。少し残ってた魔木で書いてみたけど浮かぶことすらできなくなっちゃった。びしょびしょだからすごくにじむし。
There must be a way to draw on water.
その裏に直接書いたら。
That's against the rules.
ダメだ。体に直で書くの。
Although you are already have already done forbidden magic anyway.
どんな魔法を使えばいいかわからない。 アガットの言う通りだよね。
Could always draw it on the boat. Try and see if you can float the boat up there.
魔法は誰でも書けるけど、誰でもうまく書けるってわけじゃない。やっぱり魔法使いは特別な素質のある人しかなれないのかな。
I said before, maybe the sewing thing. Coat some thread and ink. Sew it into the shoes.
ずっと魔法を書いてきてるんだもんね。私にできることなんて。
Yeah, you've been drawing. This is half depressing.
この村にこんな素敵な職人がいたとはね。
My only problem here is that they express that she's really good at straight lines, which is
ある。私の魔法。
it really feels like the Full Metal Alchemist way of teaching, which is leave you alone on an island for a long time.
水につけて少し湿らせたら。濡れてたマント、泥が乾いてパリパリしてる。これなら書けそう。
And the mud was soaked with the ink, right? So
新しい道具を使う手はおぼつかないものさ。
But it's not a new tool.
それなら使い慣れ
Yeah.
た道具に持ち帰ればいい。
Told you the sewing thing was gonna come into play.
自由に駆け回れるようになる。自由に。
Screw you, I got. We're getting there in a way that even you couldn't.
よし。おはよう筆虫。あなた警戒心ないのね。すごく不格好な魔法陣でしょ。正しく書くなら門は真ん中で矢はいくつか均等に置くべきなんだろうけど、矢の長さが偏ってると勢いが加わりすぎるって教えてもらったから、逆に一本
Is that the right way around?
すっごく長くしてみた。うまくいくかはわからないけどね。
It's pointing at the levitation seal, but it's very long down at the levitation seal. I would think it would be levitation seal pointed very long up away from it.
ならしっかり捕まってて。魔法陣を閉じるよ。何？なんで？矢の向き間違えちゃったかも。
If she did, that means I was right. If she didn't, that means I'm wrong. I think I'm right because I think she's holding on to it upside down. She's doing Aang, the airbending, the thing that they ride. I really tugs on your heartstrings, the flashbacks to what she's actually out here for.
覚えたことが魔法の助けになるなんて思わなかった。宝冠層はまだ上だ。
So I guess there's no, like, limit. Like, mana that they're using up or anything. Also, how are you gonna land? Technically, you'd have to flip yourself upside down to point to the ground. Thank God your knot tying is all that good, because I can see this thing falling apart pretty quickly. Ooh. Actually did hit it too. She's so fucking adorable as a kid. And I know this is all about the mom thing too, and it's like, oh, fuck. Okay, it's gonna make it so much harsher when I'm right about Quiffrey. And they're never actually gonna help the mom.
待っててね、お母さん。自分のしたことの責任、ちゃんと取るから。
え、じゃあここは一人でダダ山脈に試験を受けに行ったのかい？危険すぎる。今すぐ止めに行かないと。
でも中断したら失格じゃ。
そもそもまだ受けるには早すぎるよ。生まれた時から魔法が身近な僕たちとは違うんだ。ここにもしものことがあったら、失うのはあの子だけじゃないんだ。よし。
I was like, she would have no way to open this thing up, so she had to be sitting on the other side waiting.
あれ？
ここ。
I like also how I was totally wrong. She didn't succeed because she's exceptional. She failed and then succeeded because she found her own way, which I love.
これで証明になったよね。
So yeah, why didn't you just run up to Quifrey, since this is to prove to Quifrey more than Agat?
ココ、万全の準備も基礎知識も足りないままでむやみに魔法を使うのがすごく危険だってこと君はもう知ってるはずだ。一歩間違えたら死んでいたかもしれないんだよ。もう二度とこんなことはしないで。
Well, the person you left in charge of me told me to do it.
それに危険を冒してまで証明しなくても君はもう僕の弟子だ。
It's a hat, obviously. It's half the name of the show. Also, they were in a room full of hats. It's our fucking pet now.
魔法使いである証、誇りでもあり、魔法を悪用しないために頭にはめる枷でもある。それをかぶっている限り、その重みを忘れないで。とんがり帽子は君の魔法を見ている。大事にする。
I'm gonna take that as literal. That means there's a group of people watching all the hats.
よし、じゃあ上に戻ろうか。
まずはご飯食べないとだね。お風呂も入った方がいい。
Should you leave the portal open? Okay, never mind. Turns itself off. Yeah, put it out there. Probably gonna be a good guy. Meetings and calm. I'm gonna put it out there. I think the God, I can't remember what they call them. They literally just named them this episode. The brims, the wide brims, brown brims, black brims, something brims. I think this is all going to be a social, political message about the haves and have-nots. I don't know. Just the element that, again, locking away knowledge from the common people, regardless for what the intent is, I just don't see as a good thing. I could foresee where the mystery group is kind of be coming from on that one. Unless this is going to be one of those prophecy type shows, in which case, you know, they're trying to groom Coco into doing a thing. In which case, that could be an element of Quifrey is in on the prophecy thing, and he's trying to do that too from the inside? I don't know. I really like the episode. I don't know that I'm going to have a lot to say here, because obviously all my translation work is lost on an episode like this. A lot of emotional, heartstring tugging there with all the mother scenes and whatnot, and just, you know, reinforces my belief that Quifrey is not going to help. But, you know, the further we get into the show, the more I might be second-guessing myself, because the element is, beyond Agat being a little jerk as a kid, she's still just a kid, so I kind of have to give them a pass on it, because, you know, kids be kids, yo. And Quifrey's not exactly doing anything to set off any alarms on the not a good guy thing, right? Granted, again, I don't know how long the season's going to be. I don't know if this is going to be a 12-episode show or it's going to be a 24-episode show. Multi-season thing. Not knowing that ahead of time, and the fact that we're about to go into episode 4, I can't tell if this is a situation wherein a bunch of clues over a long period of time could be established before we then reveal what's going on. Or if this is just what's on the tin, and I'm making shadows out of nothing, right? Yeah. I am eminently pleased. This was a good episode, and I just don't have much to say beyond that. For all the notes and everything that I led into this episode with, this was just fun to watch. It showed us the character of Coco even more than, I guess, her running around the outside of her old home. Because I was going to say, her climbing and whatnot, I was like, we've already seen that. The way that she got back down to the entrance to make Quifrey not think that she'd been watching him. And we got the pet. We got the pet character who's in the opening. So we got everything we need now. So more world building to come, and I can't wait for it because I love how much this show has put into all of that stuff. But until next episode, we're just going to have to wait and see. So until then, once again, I have been Dadah. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?